This morning, State Representative Gloria Johnson announced her bid to challenge Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn in next year's general election. 10 News anchor John Becker spoke to Jesse Mayshark with the online news site Compass about how this could shape the 2024 landscape.
We are back with Jesse Mayshark of Compass Knox for some perspective on the run by State Representative Gloria Johnson. She is running for U.S. Senate against incumbent Marsha Blackburn. Jesse, that announcement coming just today. Let's talk about what this means for her in three different ways. Number one, let's start with the uphill battle. When Senator Blackburn faced former Governor Phil Bredesen back in 2018, she beat him by more than 10%. What are Gloria's chances?
Yeah, I think you have to say she starts out facing at least that kind of deficit. Blackburn was perceived in her first run as kind of a uniquely vulnerable Republican in a state that obviously votes pretty strongly Republican. She was kind of a divisive figure when she was, a congresswoman. But she still beat Phil Bredesen, who had won statewide races before pretty handily. And obviously, Gloria Johnson's never even run a statewide race, much less won one. So, what I think is interesting is how different of a candidate Johnson is than Bredesen. Bredesen was presented as this very kind of centrist, moderate, if anybody was going to have some bipartisan appeal, I think that was the thinking behind his run. Obviously, Johnson, a very strong, vocal, quite progressive advocate for social justice issues. Very much, if she is the Democratic nominee, that's going to be a very different race than the 2018 race.
Let's focus on her rise to prominence, not just statewide, but nationally as a part of the Tennessee Three and this disruption and the expulsion vote we saw this spring in the legislature. She survived by one vote, but certainly that added to her profile.
Yeah, I mean, she's basically a political celebrity now. She and, of course, also Representatives Justin Jones and Justin Pearson, they routinely now appear on sort of national and even international media outlets. And so I think one thing that's going to happen with this race is even though she's certainly going to be perceived as a significant underdog, the race will get a lot of attention just because of who she is. And my guess is that the Tennessee Democratic Party sees some advantage in that. Even if they don't win the race, it will bring attention. It will bring funding. I mean, I think Gloria Johnson might be able to raise even more money than Phil Bredesen was able to just because of her name recognition now.
Lastly, Jesse, do you expect Senator Blackburn will debate Representative Johnson, number one? And number two, any closing thoughts on the issues you think may drive this specific race?
I'd be surprised if Senator Blackburn debates. Typically, the incumbent doesn't see any particular advantage in debating, putting themselves on the same stage with the challenger. At the same time, I would expect Johnson to make an issue of that, which you also often see. They say they're afraid of me. They won't talk to me. We'll see. Obviously, if they do have a debate, it'll be really interesting. I think that what Johnson really has an opportunity to do here is raise the profile of Democrats in Tennessee at a national level. It might not move the needle a lot at the local level, but it might have some longer term impact in terms of people thinking about, oh, there is an active Democratic Party in Tennessee.
Jesse Mayshark of CompassKnox.com, always looking at local and national as well as statewide subjects. Jesse, we appreciate the time today.
Happy to do it.